On this edition of the Sports Desk, we preview all of the football teams, which teams has an explosive running back with all the right moves, and one Pioneer League team has surprises in their running and passing attacks. Plus, can El Camino stay nationally ranked the entire season as they go for a national title? Sports Desk fans get fired up because it starts right now. Peeps, this is Bonnie Prickitt coming to you from the West Warriors' first home game of the season. It is football time already. This show is going to be action-packed with all of the football previews you can imagine. First, let's talk about the West Warriors. They lost a lot of seniors last year. That doesn't mean they don't have a chance this year. Kevin Figures goes out on the field and talks to Coach Holt about a few of the leaders you can look forward to.
The West Warriors are coming off of a successful season in which they won 8 games on their way to a CIF playoff berth. But after losing 20 of 22 starters from last year's team, many believe the Warriors will struggle to duplicate their run to the postseason. But if you ask the Warriors themselves, they'll tell you that they have as good a shot as anyone of making some noise in the Bay League this season.
We're shooting for a 10-0 season. That's our mindset, you know. We want to go out there, try to win every game, fight hard, give everything we got.
A 10-0 record for a team made up of mostly sophomores and juniors may seem a bit far-fetched for most people, but the Warrior players have supreme confidence in the abilities of their young roster.
We have a lot of good sophomores that are stepping up, and they're gonna play for us. And like I was a junior last year and I started, so I mean, you know, I was a junior and I was starting on a pretty much senior offensive line, so you know, sophomores can do it too.
West head coach Greg Holt believes that his team has shown some improvement, but still has a ways to go before they get to where they want to be.
But we got our work cut out for us. You know, we had a pretty good football team last year. We got to replace 20 out of 22 starters. You know, out of the 11 on offense, 11 on defense, we got to replace 20 of them. We only have 2 guys coming back that started last year for us. I have no returning starters on defense. So this is the first time I think since I've been here that that's happened. So we really got, I mean, it's a heck of a challenge. I mean, they're working hard. They're practicing pretty hard. We've still got to get the mentality right. We've got to get them a little tougher.
Among the losses for the Warriors were key team leaders like Ron Clark, Kyle Slowey, and Dan Hingler. But despite the Warriors' lack of experience, their confidence isn't shaken because they know if they play hard and play smart every week, they will have given themselves a chance to be right where they want to be at the end of the season.
Well, I expect us to do the best that we can, and the best that we can be whatever we make it. So as long as we just give it our all, I think we're going to do all right. You know, we're just going to go into our first game. We're just going to try to win every game. We're going to try to take Bay League. We're going to try to do what we always do.
We have expectations, but I think it's good that no one thinks we're going to do well because we know that we're going to do well. We do have a lot of sophomores, but we know that they can step up and make big plays. That's what we're hoping.
Coach Holt believes that regardless of his team's lack of experience, they have a chance to be competitive if they simply put out maximum effort every time they take the field.
You know, my thing with these guys, and the same thing I tell these guys all the time, you know, hey, go out, give us 100%. Give us everything you got, and then we'll find out what happens. You know, I mean, if they give us 100% and we coached them as hard as we could, you know, if we lose the ball game, you know, you're going to be disappointed, but you can't be disappointed in your effort. So hopefully we're happy with how hard we coach, we're happy with how hard the kids play, and then we'll just let the chips fall where they may.
And if those chips fall where the Warriors are hoping they will, then they will have undoubtedly caught many in the Bay League by surprise. But to the Warriors themselves, they wouldn't expect any less. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Kevin Figures.
Thanks so much to Kevin Figures for that report. The Warriors lost a lot of seniors, but their key losses were Ron Clark at quarterback, Dan Hingler, who's playing for Dartmouth, Kyle Slowey, a wide receiver, he's now on UCLA's roster, and Trevor Neer at fullback. Their key returners are Josh Giardini, Taylor Gimian, and Ricky Sato. It wouldn't be a high school football game without the band, the cheerleaders, the fans, and of course, the drill team. let's go ahead and meet a few of the West Warriorettes. Tell me about your pregame ritual or your postgame ritual, what you guys do every Friday night, either a home game or away game.
For our home games, we usually line up and we do a lot of, they're called like Little Sally Walker, and we peel the banana, and it's a lot of fun. And
okay, I have no idea what Little Sally Walker is and peel the banana, so why don't you explain that to me?
We basically get in a circle, and one person has to, go around, and they do whatever moves they want, and they go up to a person, and that person has to mimic them, and then they go around, and it's everyone. They have to go to everyone, so everyone gets a turn. It's a lot of fun. We stretch before every game. That way, we don't pull a muscle or anything, and we have a lot of chants that we like to do. It's a lot of fun.
So why don't you do your thing for us?
All right. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Let's move across town to the South Spartan football preview. They're senior heavy. Is that enough to get them through Pioneer League? New Sports Desk reporter Phil Stafford fills us in.
The 2010 football season hasn't come fast enough, and the Spartans of South High School couldn't agree more. The 2009 campaign, in which South finished 4-6 overall and 4th best in the Pioneer League, is one easily forgotten. This season, they are certain they will improve.
All that last year, we pretty much started out with all juniors. We had like 10 guys on the defense that were juniors, and now we have 10 that are seniors. So pretty much just senior leadership.
On the offensive side, the Spartans returned 7 starters from last year. 2 of those returning to the team are fullback Eric Capacchione and senior halfback Tyler Glandorf. Both Eric and Tyler have been named as captains for the Spartans, and if there's one thing on their mind to step up in 2010, it's the running game.
Like last year, we couldn't really establish a good running game most of the time. This year, our linemen stepped up and we're looking pretty good.
Last year, our 2 feature running backs were juniors, so this year they're seniors, and I guess that helps having more experience back there. So that should help us, and our offensive line is older this year, older and bigger.
The Spartans' offense managed to score more than 14 points 6 times last season. Of course, that's nothing to hang your hat on, but on the other side of the ball, it wasn't any better. The South's defense allowed an average of over 32 points per game. Coach Josh Waybright is in his 8th year on the sidelines for the Green and White, and he most definitely knows that something has got to change in the Spartans' approach if they hope to be a contender this fall.
We want to be more physical this year. We didn't feel we were a real physical football team last year, and that's the one thing we've been preaching almost since the season ended. We're going to come out, we're going to be physical. When we come, we're coming. So we'll see if it happens. I'm hoping it does. We've had a great double days. Still got a long way to go, but if that one thing we've been talking about, it's being physical.
Instilling this hard-hitting mentality within all the players, especially the underclassmen, is something that not only coaches wish to see this season, but the 4 senior captains do as well.
Bring the intensity every day, like compete at practice. We don't want any lazy people. I don't want any people who are afraid to hit or anything. So just bring the intensity. That's all I want.
What's one thing you've seen from past captains that you'd like to keep going?
Well, they showed great work ethic, just always hustling, always getting to the ball, just showing that they are leaders, and just want to show the younger ones that we can do the same thing.
Much to their advantage, South will rely heavily on the 22 returning players that received athletic letters last fall. Coach Waybright is confident that the experience this team has will make the difference between last year and this year. And he also knows that the amount of players he has at his disposal will continue to play a key role throughout the 2010 campaign.
We think we have some depth this year, a lot of spots. I want to see a lot of kids get in and give them a chance, give them an opportunity to see what they can do. I just want to see us compete, play with great effort more than anything else, win or lose, get after it.
For the South High School Spartans football team, the 2010 season is all about 2 things, intensity and improvement. They've already got one of those down in camp, and they look to keep that intensity going throughout the season. They look ahead to week 1 against Irvine. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Phil Stafford.
Thanks out to Phil Stafford for that report. Key losses for the Spartans are John Concetti at quarterback and Brent Malone. Boyan Kolev will not be there in the end zone this year. At wide receiver, Devin Rowell was big time on both sides of the ball. Their key returners are Tyler Glandorf, Eric Capacchione, and Curtis Heineman, Cale Dester, and Ryan Doby. South won their first game at home big time over Irvine 42-0. Tyler Glandorf had a big game with 13 carries, 167 rushing yards, and a touchdown. Dylan Redondo was 16 carries and 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. And new quarterback Kevin McMahon was 6 for 10 and 89 passing yards. Coming up after the break, North has an explosive running back that everyone's sure to keep their eye on this season. And the double-wing T is back at the Tartar House. Can it help them get atop the Pioneer League? Stay tuned.